Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome along to the wilds of Suffolk. I'm out here yet again doing what I do, walking along in beautiful locations, and it is truly, truly beautiful today. And giving you my thoughts and opinions on things that are happening in the world in the public consciousness. If it's your first time here, welcome. It's a privilege for me to have you along for the walk. If you're a returning subscriber, or 1,322 of you I think there are today, welcome back, or welcome one and all. It's truly an honour and a privilege for me to have so many people join me for these walks. So thank you, one and all. So, as you can tell, I've got my my Christmas jumper on today because we are approaching Christmas. We'll get to the Christmas message at the end, but let's start with the burning question that is the title of this video. Are you a victim? All right, and I want to tell you, I wanted to do this video today just before Christmas because, you know, everything that's going on. And I also wanted to relay to you a story that I hope fills you with some, I don't know, some get up and go, or some drive, or some never say die attitude. That's what I'm looking for today, is trying to pump everybody up, because there's so much negativity and so much bullshit in the world right now that I'm trying to lift everybody up just before we go into the Christmas break. Christmas holidays, okay? Christmas, it's not anything else. Anyone who's offended by that, I'm sorry, but fuck off. You know, well, I'll get to that as well. Anyway, so, are you a victim? Now, if you listen to the news, or, well, you know, try and avoid listening to the news if you can. If you listen to all these people that are coming out there who get the bullhorn, you know. Why is it always the victims who get the bullhorn, the people who are the downtrodden that really aren't, but they get the bullhorn, and the real downtrodden people don't get a voice? Have you noticed that? Now I'll give you a few examples of what I'm talking about, okay? Now, there's a group of people in the world, well, there's lots of groups of people that are doing it, but there's a very specific group of people in the world that are calling for reparations. Right, this is one example, not the only one, but reparations. So they're saying their ancestors 400 years ago were kept as slaves. Now, I think we can all agree that that's reprehensible. Absolutely reprehensible. But that was 400 years ago. Things have moved on a little. Not much, but a little. Because now it's not just one group of people that are slaves. Now it's all of us. Aren't we lucky? But I still don't view myself as a victim. Let's keep that in mind. Now, you've got the group of people, and I've heard from news, of course, that California wants to start paying reparations for descendants of people of slavery. So the people who were never kept as slaves, well, we all are, but anyway, were never kept as slaves by people who never kept slaves, want money from the public purse for something they have never experienced, and the people who live now never took slaves because they're lazy fucks. There's no other reason for it than they think that they deserve something just for the fact that they're alive. Now, like I say, all these videos, I never know who's going to watch these. I have no idea who's going to watch. And yeah, with the subscriber count, I do the subscriber count every time, 1,300 people, it's amazing. But the thing that strikes me as strange, when I release these videos, I don't know whether anybody else sees it, I mean, I've released some pictures of times, and it's happened many times, and I've noticed it. on the first day, the view count might be 600 or 700 people view the video. And then all of a sudden it drops down to 200. But they're not shadow banning my channel, and they definitely tell everybody that subscribes to my channel that there's a new video out. So if I could ask a favour at this juncture in the video, hit the like button, because I want to see that maybe that's manipulated as well. Who knows? I want to see how many people actually see it, this video, because the numbers are all over the place, you know. So hit the like button or the dislike button. I don't really mind, but I just want to get a gauge on how many people actually watch the video, because the view count is all over the place and it doesn't accurately tell me anything. So hit the like button and let me know that you've seen it, or drop me a comment, even better. The more likes and comments that I get on these videos, the more these videos are shared to other people within YouTube. So if you like what I'm doing, obviously like it, comment, because then it gets the algorithm to share the content. Anyway, not being a victim. So people, a lot of people in this world that are bone idle, lazy, they don't want to do anything, and they think the world owes them something. The world doesn't owe you a thing. And the problem is, if we've got a system that they call capitalism. Obviously, clearly it's not capitalism, it's crony capitalism, which means that backroom deals are done. Well, the original concept of capitalism is the best product at the best price with the fastest service, or the best service, gets the most business, because obviously it's the best product, right? But you have monopolistic activities. Monopolistic, I'm not sure if that's a word, but it is now. You get these monopolies that are created, and there's supposed to be laws called antitrust laws that stop monopolies from forming, like Google, that's controlled by the government, by the way, DARPA project, as is Facebook, as is Twitter, as is Instagram, as is all of them. It's all data collection by DARPA. Don't believe me, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Now, all these people in the world that think the world owes them something, they come in and think they're owed something. You know, I know people personally who are like, yeah, Chris, I see it all. Government's corrupt, that's corrupt, it's all corrupt. I see it, I see everything. Okay, so why are you on government money then? Oh, because I'm sticking it to the man. I'm like, no, you're not. You're leeching off the system. You're not creating. You're not giving anything to this world. You're not being creative to inject something into this society that you say that you want to protect and you want to be part of. You're part of the government plantation. Now, ordinarily I would have, today maybe I will. I've got my new computer now, thankfully. And while I'm on that, I did a video a while ago. My daughter poured a cup of tea in my computer, so and I had a couple of wonderful people who watch these videos that reached out and said to me, "Would you like some donations for the computer?" I had a tear in my eye. I was blown away. I don't ask for anything. I don't want anything from people. Their attention. I mean, that's the most precious thing that you have, your time and your attention. If you're willing to spend time and your energy watching this, that's all I want. I don't want it. I was honoured, and I tell you, I was taken aback. There was a couple of people offered me some money to a donation to go towards a new computer, and it was really, I can't tell you. It was amazing. It was so heartfelt and beautiful. So thank you. But I got a new computer, so maybe the Matrix beginning will be at the beginning of this video, as it normally is. But the reason I mention that, the Matrix, is because in the Matrix, as I've mentioned many times, my favourite movie, it's not a movie, it's a documentary. We're living in the Matrix. In there, Morpheus says to Neo, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. They're so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they'll fight to protect it. Now, have a look around at you, the past 3 years, how things have been. You know, if you dared to say anything against the system, what happened? Did your friends and family turn on you? Of course they did, because they only know the system that we live in now. Corrupt as it is, it doesn't help them, it doesn't benefit them. Everyone complains about it, but they're not willing to change, and they're not willing to stand up against the system because, well, what else is there? Victims, and what's that called? Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome, where Stockholm Syndrome, for those of you who don't know, is it's a mental condition, obviously, a psychological condition, because we're living in a psychological warfare right now. 5th generation warfare, you know, it's 5th generation warfare is psychological. It's non-bang bang pow pow kind of war. It is psychological, it is financial. You know, this warfare that's going on, you know, in addition to the thing that's happening over in Ukraine, is non-conventional warfare. So everything goes. So what's happening right now is that countries, the BRICS nations especially, now you've got BRICS Plus, which is Saudi Arabia. The thing that supported the Western financial system is this SWIFT, which is the interbank money sending system. It's a one-way messaging system within the banks to say I'm sending some money from A to B. There's not a two-way, it's one way. The new system they hear ISO 20022, which is the new standard for international banking. ISO 20022, have a look at it. It's a two-way messaging system, gets rid of most of the problems with the system, because SWIFT has a 6% error rate. A lot of details that you don't really need to know, but just trying to fill in some blanks is why I'm going down this route. The economic warfare that's happening is because these nations like India and Russia, China, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, not Yemen, the Middle Eastern countries, and a lot of South American nations as well are moving away from the SWIFT system, because what they've seen is like, oh, okay, so if we upset America, we can just be cut off like Russia was. So America controls the purse strings of the world, so it's not fair. Obviously, that's nothing against my American friends over there, but your government is corrupt, the same as every other government. Let's not kid ourselves. But the American cartel of banking systems has had control over the world's money for 50 years, and they've squandered it. Has it made the world a better place? In some respects, well, maybe, but what have we got now? We've got a looming collapse of the financial system, a war between nations, people without energy, people without food, massive inflation across the world, yield curve inversions in the bond market. I mean, really, is it better? Is it better for those people having had control over the whole world's money supply? No. Now, when we talk in terms of what's going on with this fifth generation warfare and this the psychological war, we are all victims. I'll get to it. We're all victims of this system, but what it should do for us, rather than defeating us and bringing us down and saying, oh, there's nothing I can do, we can't do anything, it's the government has control, they've got the army behind them, and if we dare say anything, they'll just shoot us. Who is the army made of? The army made of the citizens, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your wives, it's your countrymen make up the army of the country. And if you think that they're going to fire on their own people based on a corrupt government telling them to do so, you're delusional. Now, right. When we're talking about victimization, people get into this mindset, and it is a mindset that's been created for them, where you are powerless. You may as well just accept your fate as being a victim of the system and go along with it, because fighting resistance is futile, like the Borg, remember? If you haven't seen the what do you call it movies? The Borg. Assimilate or die. Resistance is futile, And people get into that mindset of, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. I'll just have to go along with it. And, because if somebody like me, or you, if you're watching this, comes along and says, no, you're doing it all wrong, we have to come together and stand against this tyranny, against these people that are trying to force us to be enslaved in their system, continually enslaved by the financial system, because just so we're all on the same page, the money that you have in your pocket, the fiat dollars, the cash, or whatever you want to call it, is not real, okay? It's not real. It's not based on anything. It's Babylonian money magic. They made it up. The cash that's in your pocket, whatever country you're in America, it belongs to the Federal Reserve. It's a privately owned central bank. The bank, the money here in the UK, Bank of England. Oh yes, but that's state owned. No, it's not. Privately owned bank. As is every country is a corporation. Did you know that? Every country is incorporated. It's a corporation. What does a corporation do? They're there to make profit. Oh, but they're not there to make profit, Chris. Now, here's the I was told by someone who was involved in the whole banking industry here in the UK, no, the bank is publicly owned. I was like, okay, so why does this publicly owned institution charge interest on money that it created out of nothing to the same public institutions that it belongs to? Oh, it's operating costs, Chris. Okay, bullshit. Now, we all have a choice in how we move forward, whether we choose to be a victim, whether we choose to go along with this nonsense that's keep on being perpetrated right in front of our eyes. And it's don't believe your lying eyes. We'll tell you what the truth is. Now, if we go back to 2020 and we see how the Hunter Biden laptop story was taken off every single social media platform. You couldn't talk about it. You could not talk about it. It's not real. It's Russian disinformation, and there's 51 intelligence people who are in the intelligence industry. Intelligence, they say. Now, I don't know. For anyone who's been on this journey with me for a while, you know that I left school when I was 15. I'm a chef by trade. It's not, I'm not traditionally well educated. Okay? Now, I've always understood intelligence to be mean you're smarter than other people. In the IQ kind of range is, IQ is intelligence quotient. There you go. Intelligence quotient meaning that it's all based on a test. It's all, based on bullshit anyway. But anyway, intelligence quotient is the proportion of the population that you sit in based on your knowledge of how the world works. Okay, intelligence quotient, IQ. But intelligence, people who work in the intelligence field, like spies, in tradecraft they call it. So the people who work in intelligence, 51 of them, the high level intelligence, CIA, FBI, NSA, this is like pinnacle of the people who have intelligence, okay? They came out and said, nope, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian propaganda campaign. And this started well before it came out, okay? What we've learned from the Twitter dumps and the Twitter files that have been released by independent journalists is that the FBI and other agencies as well were colluding with social media companies, privately owned companies. So government working with privately owned corporations to silence information that is vital to public knowledge. What's that called? Oh, that's called fascism. And if you think that the FBI is the only one doing it, you're delusional. Whatever country you live in, here in the UK, GCHQ, MI5, MI6, they're all the same. All of them. They're all working hand in glove or hand up each other's asses and working like a puppet. That information then goes to the politicians, who are professional liars, of course. And that information is brought out to us. Oh, no. You can't even look at the stuff on Hunter Biden's laptop because, well, that's illegal because it's hacked material. It wasn't hacked. It was a computer shop owner. Hunter Biden went, took the computers there to be fixed, never went back to pick them up. He's even got the signed receipt of Hunter Biden dropping them off at the computer repair shop, never went back to pick them up. He contacted him many times. The computer shop owner even contacted the FBI after he saw what was on the laptops. What did the FBI do? No, it's not real. So Hunter, it's a Russian plot to make sure that Joe Biden doesn't get elected. And now we know that was all bullshit. Now, how can we get past this mentality? How can we get through to the people that have this mentality of, oh, well, nothing I can do? What do we do? Because all the time I've been doing these videos, and like I say, I'm just a guy. I'm no one special. I'm just an ordinary guy, walks along in forests or on the beach, gives my opinion. You know, I'm just a guy. I'm no one in the whole scheme of things. But if I can see it, and millions of other people around the world can see it, and we're standing up and we're trying to scream from the rooftops and say, hey everybody, look at this. But the deafening roar of the media, the machine, the matrix, that comes in to deafen the people and drown out the voices of people like myself and much bigger channels than me, X22 Report, SGT Report, and we know these massive channels that are churning out information, they're trying to educate people. If we do all we can to try and help people to see the fraud and the cover-up and the just sheer corruption that's right in front of their faces that they refuse to look at because they're like a deer in the headlights. Now, there's no way we can get everyone to see it. You can't do it. And there's some people, you will never get through to them. Nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. I've tried every single way. I've tried to be nice. I've tried to share information. Oh, while we're talking about sharing information, there was a new report came out in the British Medical Journal. We'll take that for what it means. Take that for what it is. Meaning that, you know, after the past 3 years, these journals really haven't done themselves any good, have they? Doctors around the world have been, you conspiracy theorists, just go and get your fucking thing stuck in your body. It's the only thing that's going to save us all. Now those same doctors are like, oh, we might have fucked up because people are dying everywhere from having those things. British Medical Journal, after nearly 3 years of this bullshit, lie, cover-up, corruption, fraud, whatever you want to call it, 3 years, British Medical Journal now comes out and says, oh, actually those things might be causing things in your blood. Maybe give you a stroke or an embolism. You know what I'm talking about. Can't say it, because if I do, oh yes, you're a bad boy. Medical misinformation, Chris. They're still doing it. They're still doing it, giving it to babies, for fuck's sake. We have a story in America where a baby was given, had an operation, had a heart defect, I think, was given a batch of jabbed blood, got a blood clot and died. Another baby in New Zealand where the parents had to fight the hospital and the police and the government to say they wanted unjabbed blood. They even had a donor there to give the blood, and the government took the child away. At what point, like, Jacinta Ardern is a fucking terrorist. She's calling the people of New Zealand who oppose her government terrorists. So, at some point, people are going to go, hold on a minute. But at the same point, they're going to go, well, what can I do? What you can do is to stop obeying. Stop listening to these criminals. Start sharing information with people that go, you know, against their viewpoints. Oh no, I can't possibly look at something that goes against what I believe because everything I believe came from the box. Criminals telling you what to believe. Stockholm Syndrome, yeah, Stockholm Syndrome when you, I didn't explain that, did I? Stockholm Syndrome when you have a person that gets kidnapped and they fall in love with their kidnapper. So someone that's persecuting them, someone who's taken them hostage, like right now. Oh no, they're a good person, they're trying to keep me safe. Safe and effective, yeah, 100% safe and effective. That's all I heard for nearly 2 years. 100% safe and effective, is it? Now, I pointed all this stuff out, you know, I'm angry, obviously, because we're still living through this bullshit, and it is deliberate what they're doing. They're trying to bring down the economic system, to bring in the new one, the new world order. What do they call it? The build back better. Build back better. They're trying to bring down this system, and it's going to destroy people financially. Completely. Businesses are going out of business. You know, employees are being put out of jobs. This is Christmas time. This should be the busiest time of the year, right? Hopefully the employment numbers are fine. We've just adjusted. We've just adjusted the figures. So they're fine, yeah, nowhere. Unemployment, no one's unemployed. They're fucking criminals. In America, they're trying to pass a $1.7 trillion spending bill to look after America, but 46 billion goes to Ukraine for some more weapons, of course. Now, in America, they're trying to get rid of people with guns. So, we've got to get rid of the guns. The guns are dangerous. But yet, the government is spending more billions and millions and billions of dollars sending weapons over to Ukraine. Oh, but we've got to protect Ukraine's borders, Chris. But the US border, wide open. The UK border, wide open, flooding in. People are flooding in here. But they're migrants, Chris. Okay, I was a migrant. I came here legally. Oh, but this is legal, Chris. The government's allowing it, it's legal. I came here through the legal channels, had to pay my money, do my tests, all those kind of things. As did millions of other people who wanted to come here and live in this country. We've been through the process, the legal process, because that's not corrupt at all. But now all these people are sidestepping all that and just being able to come in, living in hotels for free. Well, the hotels must be doing okay. Huh? It's a boost to the local businesses, Chris. Just shut your fucking mouth. The world, as it stands, is insane. Everything we're told is a lie. Everything. It's all lies. Like I say, psychological warfare. We're in it. You better start believing you're in psychological warfare because you're living in it. We can't take on the victim mentality. Now, the reason I wanted to do this video today, and I hope this story highlights why I wanted to do this, okay? This is the whole crux of why I wanted to come out here today. I'm going into work. It's early morning. The sun's just coming up. It's gorgeous down here. It really is. And it's jumper day today. It's not that cold. My brethren over in the US are, take care with those snowstorms and everything that's going on over there. But here, it's mild. I've only got the Christmas jumper on as we're coming up to Christmas time. It's not that bad. Here's the weather report for the UK today. Now, for those of you who are victim-minded, oh, I don't feel good. There's no point. The drudgery of every day. I don't want to do it. I get frustrated as well. I do. I get frustrated more than most because I just see it and I'm like, I can't believe it. But I also try and draw inspiration from the things that are happening around me, from the people around me, from events that are happening. The exposure of things that are happening lifts me up. So I wanted to tell you this story in hopes that you take from it what I took from it, okay? Now, I've got 3 daughters. I've got an older daughter in Australia. I've got 2 younger daughters here in the UK. And my youngest daughter she does gymnastics. So they both have to do a sport. I don't mind which it is, but they have to do a sport. So my little one does gymnastics, right? So on the Thursday of last week I think it was, she got the flu. She got a bit of a fever, wasn't feeling great, so we took her off school for Friday. Had Friday off school, rested, the fever went up, lots of vitamins, vegetable, fruit juices, resting, staying warm, lots of fluids, all the things you do for a child that's not feeling great. This time of the year, the weather's changing, it was freezing cold, now it's warmer, freezing cold, warmer, it makes everyone have a cough or a sneezing, the flu, this time of the year. By the way, this time of the year, if you've got you're in the Northern Hemisphere especially, vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C, dose up. You're not getting enough vitamin D if there's no sun. All right, Dr. Chris, I'm not a doctor, not a financial advisor, none of those things, just a guy, remember that. Anyway, my little one, she's not feeling very well. Saturday night, her temperature was 38.8 degrees, right? So that's pushing 100 for those in the US or, for Fahrenheit. 38.8 degrees. And she looked not great. She wasn't feeling good, she really blocked up and didn't feel good and just had a temperature and looked a bit pale. So The next day on Sunday, she was due to go to a gymnastics competition. And, you know, I got home on Saturday night and I saw her. I was like, darling, look, you know, I don't think you're going to be able to do the competition tomorrow. You don't look good. You know, you got a 38.8 degree temperature. You're going to have to rest up. She was like, oh, well, you know, I said, look, you can't push yourself and hurt yourself. You know, you have to rest sometimes. When you're not well, you have to rest your body. I said, look, see how you feel in the morning and make a decision then, but don't push yourself if you don't want to. She said, okay, Daddy. So next morning I'm at work. She calls me up at work. She's like, with my wife, I'm going to the gymnastics competition, Daddy. I'm going to come back with a gold medal. I was like, how do you feel? She said, oh, I feel pretty good, but not 100%. She's 10 years old, okay? Now I try and instill in my children the attitude of, you're never going to do anything if you don't push yourself. You know, not to the point where you should compete when you're ill, but you know, that you have to push yourself. If you want to go further in life, you have to do more than everybody else. You have to be willing to put in the effort in order to get somewhere. So she calls me up, she says, Daddy, I'm going to go and win this thing. I'm coming back with a gold medal. I was like, all right, if you feel like, you know. She did. Dominated the competition, came back with a gold medal, won the gymnastics competition at 10 years old, 38.8 degree temperature the night before. If a 10-year-old can rise above that and dominate the competition and walk out with a smile on her face, still not feeling 100%, what's stopping you? Oh, but Chris, a 10-year-old did that. It inspired me. It inspired me to come out and make this video today. Now, as it's coming close to Christmas, a couple of days till Christmas, it's the 23rd here today, I think it is. We're getting close, and I wanted to send out a Christmas message to everyone just to say, keep a smile on your face. The exposure that's happening is necessary. The collapse that's going to happen is necessary, but safeguard yourself in these times. Have a wonderful Christmas. Bring people around you that you love, or go and meet with people that you love, to go and spend time with those people to remind you what you're fighting for. Stand strong in your conviction. Make sure that you understand what you're involved in and share information that works for you. But most of all, switch off, unplug, step back, spend time with those loved ones around you and make them feel and know that you love them and that they're important to you. That's my message to you. Have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this walk today. Hope you liked it. I hope it inspired you. If a 10-year-old can go out there and dominate, so can you. All right, have a wonderful Christmas, everyone. Have a wonderful end of the year. Hopefully I'll do another video after Christmas, but have a wonderful Christmas anyway. Enjoy your time with your family. But go out into the world. Do good. Be good. You can change the world with the way that you talk, the way that you think, the way that you interact with people, because that changes the world. It inspires other people into action. So do that. We can change the world together. All right, thanks one and all. Love you lots. Have a wonderful Christmas. Merry Christmas. And I look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care. Ciao for now.